single-use water bottles. Apparently, those are not good things. Didn't know, didn't get the memo. But y'all come up with a new thing to be mad at, so I can't keep up. But let's get into it. Let's go right into it, right? So we have Aquaman, Star-Lord, both the actors. What happened was Chris Pratt posted a video of him working out or something of that nature, something a part of his collaboration with Amazon. He has a water bottle. And Momoa says, bro, I love you, but WTF on the water bottle. No single-use plastic. Come on. And then Pratt then apologized. But look, it's hard to decipher what it is that he's doing here. It's not like a straight apology. It can be, maybe that's why he said it, because it can be taken both ways, because he says he's Aquaman, you're completely right. I always carry big gallon-sized reusable water jug with me. I even had it on that day. Or I had it that day. And that last part almost makes me feel like, yeah, I had it and I still used it. What of it? So it's hard to really say what that is. But in response, hold on. Pratt says, he added, excuse me, my bad, I don't want your home of Atlantis to be covered in plastic. Hear that, kids? Reduce, reuse, recycle. See, like, it almost seems like he's being snarky, does it not? Like it's an underhand apology. Like, as in, like, I don't care. But he very well could just be making light of it, but still be legitimately sorry. He says, now Momoa says he apologized to him apologizing. Momoa had a response, says, I'm sorry, this was received so badly today. I didn't mean for that to happen. I'm just very passionate about the single-use plastic epidemic. It's an epidemic, y'all. Plastic water bottles have to stop. I hope you make a reusable water bottle for Amazon so we all can purchase. So, again, these are activists. That I'm not saying that that's necessarily new. I'm not saying that activism by way of actors and actresses is something new, but it's a little more out there. Certainly when you consider the fact that social media is a thing now. So people don't have to wait on these sort of coordinated projects to get their word out or their feelings out. It can be there at a click of a button via tweet. They don't have to wait on interview or anything like that. They can just say whatever it is that they feel. And that's why we're seeing a lot more of it. And I would argue certainly after 2016 election, for whatever reason, sent a lot of these actors and actresses over the edge, and they really feel like it's an obligation at this point to be this activist. So what's my take? I drink a lot of single-use water bottles. I do have reusable bottles that I use, but I drink a lot of single-use. We buy these a lot, and we filter them out sometimes, and sometimes just drink straight at the bottom, like whatever. Easy, carry around. Yeah, and there's that. But I just thought it was personally odd. And by odd, I mean I expect it, but odd as in I still think that's sort of a little bit ridiculous in terms of behavior. That he jumped on another man's post to gripe about the water bottle. And that to me is just weird. But the take that I was talking about, that may never be taken into consideration by people that are going to respond to this. But me personally, I want you to pay attention to this because it shows you that this sort of it's not just activism, right? But this sort of echo chamber, you can't do that, where people amongst subcultures try to create these political and social monopolies within their group. That's not anything exclusive to what you may see in your own subcultures and own groups. That happens among the actors and the actresses as well, among the elites. And that's how that monopoly is created, and that's how that monopoly is maintained. Through stuff like this, shame tactics and such, because you can't have the wrong position. Chris Pratt has gotten in trouble for this before, where he doesn't necessarily have the right position in comparison to the other people of Hollywood. I mean, they were talking. I mean, he had like a "Don't Tread on Me" shirt on, and people were going crazy at that. And that's why, you know, when I go out there and I do videos and I say, look, all these guys seem to have the same exact political positions, and that's just weird to me. This is how that culture is created. But the main thing I would like you to take from this, if nothing else, is that you see it, that it happens among even the Hollywood elites. It's not just anything that you deal with in your personal subculture where you're like, man, I can't say this, or I can't have this position. I can't let people know these are my political views because it's heavily dominated by, you know, mainstream leftists or mainstream leftism, right? So that's not anything that I know all of you deal with this. I mean, we talk about this stuff all among comic books, among whatever subcultures you're a part of. We'll talk about this in music and stuff like that. It's not just there. The elites, they deal with it as well. And actually them dealing with it as such is how they're able to maintain and create these sort of political and social monopolies. So when you see them, this is sort of why they all seem to have the same exact political positions, the social positions. And the guys that have to be quiet, that or more so have different positions, have to be quiet about it because of things like, it's like, people are going to publicly shame them. Their colleagues are going to publicly shame them for having the wrong position. Like, it's just so weird to me. If I was doing something like that, like if I was, I don't know, cooking on a grill or something like that outside, and I posted a picture of it, and another colleague among the musicians, right, among, like, let's say the community, the subculture, the metalcore community or something, got on my page and was like, oh man, what are you doing? You can't be doing that, like the environment or something like that. Y'all know how I am. I'm gonna like be snarky about it. But ultimately I'm gonna tell them to screw off, bro. Like, certainly if the idea is to try to win me over, if your idea is to try to win me over to your activist effort, that ain't the way to do it. But they do that because, again, that public shaming is a tactic. It's a very useful tactic. It's a very useful tactic, and they do it. They do it on purpose. He knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't a fact. Oh, I'm just passionate. No, hey, you have the wrong position. I'm gonna let you know. I got all these people behind me. They're gonna say you're wrong and all of this stuff. We're gonna shame you. We're gonna at least let you know publicly that is not a preferable position amongst this elite group of actors and actresses. You can't be having that position. Right, you can't be doing that. You can't be drinking water, but like that, it's kind of weird. But we have these conversations every day. You know, I talk about this on Twitter all the time about the political and monopoly in the music industry that I deal with, and it's just like, it's not just anything that happens to guys that, let's say, aren't as known like the Hollywood elites. It happens among them, and I would argue that it happens most of all there because that's how they get it to sort of funnel it down to everybody else. And they use their influence in being actors and actresses to create a generation of drones that have the same position as them. And the only reason people are paying attention to them is because they have a platform that was given to them by way of acting and filling positions in Hollywood and as part of movies and TV shows or what have you. So these people are weirdos, man.